Life before the internet wasn't perfect. We had a lot of problems. We had the Russians that we thought were going to invade us every day. We had Reagan with his trickle-down economic. We had to walk to school in a lot of cases. It was not perfect, right? But it was real. Life was real back then. Our generation, my generation, Generation X, we're the last generation that had to live and grow up in that world, but then had to adapt into the new world after the internet was invented, after it came crashing down on us when we were just becoming. Once that happened, life changed immeasurably. It changed drastically, whereas now we can't even recognize it anymore compared to what it was when we were kids. And I would say, and I would argue that life back then, life without the internet, was 100% better. Nobody tracked what we were doing. There were no GPSs, nothing like Life 360, no surveillance apps. I mean, if you screwed up, somebody had to physically see it with their eyes and then rat you out to your parents or your teacher or your principal before you got into trouble. Not anymore. We got doorbell cams and dash cams. You can't do a friggin' thing wrong without getting busted. You can't even drive 56 in a 55 mile an hour speed zone because your parents are going to track it on Life 360 and the car's getting taken away for 2 weeks. Trust me, I know. I've done it to my kids. When we were young, hanging out meant something. We had hangouts. We'd go to the arcade, the field near the airport, Fort Hale Park, and we'd hang out on the pier and we'd drink beer, maybe smoke a little something, you know what I'm talking about. We hung out. It was fun. And if you were looking for a friend, you couldn't just chat him up and say, hey, we're here, we're there, come over here. Nah, you had to go looking for him. You had to go drive around. Hey, have you seen Bobby? Hey, tell Bobby I'm looking for him. And you drive to all the hangouts and you say to everybody, I'm looking for Bobby. Tell him I want to talk to him. Tell Bobby I want to talk to him. Hey, your friends, they're all awkward. They're staring at each other. They're all awkward because they don't have any social interaction. Everybody's awkward. I say go to the arcade. I say go to the beach. I say go to the airport field. I say light a joint. I say drink some beer through a funnel, get drunk until you throw up and pass out. That's hanging out, not what we have today. What about when it came time to pick up a girl or a guy, depending on what your pleasure is? What about that? When we were growing up, in my day, junior high, high school, even college, you wanted to meet a girl, pick up a girl, go on a date. It wasn't the guy who was the best looking or had the most money that got the girl. It was the guy who had the cojones and the game, who had the gift of the gab, who could walk up to a woman, who could say the right thing, impress her, make himself look good, make her feel good about herself. It took skill. It took engineering, social engineering to make that happen. And above all, it did take a giant set of cojones. Believe me, it took a lot of cojones. Today, get on. Swipe. I like this. I like that. Yeah. And then what happens? Half the time you make a date, you get ghosted. It doesn't even work out in the first place. I say our way was better. You had to earn it. You had to earn it. You had to earn it. And back in the day, if you wanted a booty call, it was a tricky situation. You didn't just text and say, hey, what's up? Sup? What are you doing? What are you wearing? No. You had to actually pick up your landline. Hi, is Diane there?
Who's calling?
It's Paco.
Paco, do you realize it's 11 o'clock at night? Why are you calling my house this late?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Get off the phone, Dad! Hang up the phone, please! That's what you had to go through if you wanted to call a girl. You had to call her fucking house. It was exciting. Got your adrenaline pumping. Now, meh. That's why the kids watch porn all day. Because they can't even fathom what it's like to approach a real woman in a real situation. And if you had a dispute back in the day, that shit was settled face to face. Maybe some fist flew, some teeth got knocked out, you got a black eye and a bruised ego. But at the end of the day, that shit was settled. When it was done, it was settled. For the most part, it was. Now, what do you have? Flame wars on Twitter, anonymous posting and trolling and everything else. I mean, it's like we can't even be friggin' people anymore. We're just sort of cogs in the robotic machine. And forget about work. Work is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't care what kind of job you have, who you work for, what company it is, how much you make. You are constantly and continually plugged in and dialed in, whether it's email on your phone or texting or Zoom calls or whatever. You are constantly on call all the time, 24 hours a day. When I was a kid, we went to the Jersey Shore. We went to Wildwood, New Jersey for a week or 2 weeks. My father, he was on vacation. He was on friggin' vacation. It would be unheard of if someone were to call him while he was on vacation. That just didn't exist. He enjoyed himself. He went to the beach. He had dinner. He spent time with his family. And never did he think about work during that week off or 2 weeks off that he had. Now, you are a constant prisoner of your job. 24/7, 365. It doesn't matter. It's given us a lot in terms of convenience, but it's taken completely away our freedom. Our freedom is gone. And my kids will never know what it was like. And your kids will never know what it was like to actually have freedom, to unplug, to go away where no one could find you, no one could get in touch with you, to be free, to have time with your thoughts. No more. And we, again, are the first generation to know what it was like before and to know what it's like after. We actually carried notebooks and books and backpacks. We had to go to the library and figure out that stupid Dewey Decimal System, which nobody ever really learned except the friggin' librarian. But, you had to go and you had to do your work. You had to do the doing of the thing. Now, ChatGPT, write me this paper. ChatGPT, write a love letter. ChatGPT, send a resignation letter. ChatGPT, it's like we can't even think for ourselves anymore. And do you remember the days when you were just bored? It would be a Sunday afternoon. Everything was closed. The stores were closed. Everything was closed. You were just home. You were home with your 4 channels on the TV and your thoughts. That's it. And you had to find a way to get through a Sunday and just kind of make things up as you went along. A lot of things were better. But I'm talking like an old guy. I understand that. I'm talking like an old guy. I sound like my father sounded when I was 21 years old. In memory, things were always better back in the day. Now, I don't care who you were or when you lived. Things were always better in the past. I get that. But I think if we really weigh this out, pound for pound, I think we had it better. I think we had it the best, honestly. But that's just me. What do you think? Let me know. In the comments, drop A if you want to. I'm not forcing you to do this. I'm not forcing you to do this. But if you want to, leave a comment. How about a like? Or a subscription, a subscribe. Hit the subscribe button only if you want to. If you don't want to, by all means, don't do it. I'm not here to force you to do anything. I'm just talking about crap that doesn't, at the end of the day, is not all that important. Thank you. I'll see you on the next video. I really do enjoy doing this. Thanks.